Yellow.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Hey, yeah,
Yes. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
good.
Good. How
Thanks
is
for joining.
where are you calling in from?
So I am calling in from a friend's vacation house near Cape Cod. It's in Massachusetts in this little town called Marion.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
How is it there? What's the vibe? What's the energy like?
it's not bad. So I'm here with seven other people, which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
There's seven friends from New York, so everyone like came prepared with their whole remote work setup. So there's like monitors all over the house. The bedrooms are like our little phone booths, and we've like turned the common space in the living room into like a workout studio.
Wow. Wow,
So
you guys have totally done it.
yeah, it kind of feels like summer camp or like the real world or something, but way more boring because everyone's working really hard every day.
Wait, so are these all people these are all your friends? Like seven of your friends just got together and did this?
Yeah, so it's my boyfriend. I'm with my boyfriend, and then it's his roommate's family's house. So it's like me and my boyfriend, his roommate and his girlfriend, another couple that we're friends with, and then another friend that they all know. They all went to college together, so it's a big group of old friends.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Y'all making the most of it. A lot of people, if they had a secondary residence, they've all made the getaway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That I know.
so
Yeah. It is a bit like Big Brother, like
except everybody's like working and it's kind of boring.
it sounds like so. When did you decide to make the Great Escape?
Yeah, so I was working from home in New York at my apartment in Williamsburg for like a week and a half. I think I started in like the beginning of March working from home, and then we came up here last Monday. So it's almost been 2 weeks here.
Okay. How is it beyond it being boring?
It's good. I feel super fortunate that like we're out of the city and we're at
Yeah,
this really beautiful place with like a huge backyard and
yeah,
plenty of space to run around and stuff. So like we're kind of near the ocean, so it's a really beautiful setting. We're super lucky.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. It's definitely like nice to have like space if possible to like not be like
definitely.
cramped up in the tiny apartment. Like I keep
Totally.
telling people that like the whole deal, the trade with New York is that you get a tiny apartment in exchange for like the entire world. But
Yeah,
like once you don't have that, then like what's the gotta get out. Like just
Yeah,
yeah.
don't.
I'll give you a little virtual tour. So I'm in my studio apartment with Donnie, my wife, in LES, and
Uh-huh.
this is the whole apartment. There's Donnie. Hey, Donnie. We've retrofitted that dining table. It's tight. It's a tight
Nice.
space.
I mean,
They're
everything you
programmed
can
together.
do.
Programmed together every day.
Yeah, close quarters.
In close quarters. Very close. Very close.
Yeah, I remember. So I feel like time is moving so fast because, like, what it was probably 3 weeks ago. We were supposed to do that event
Yeah.
with Women in Code,
Yeah.
and then
Wow.
basically, so on my end, you had emailed me obviously being like, "Are we still doing this?" Because like obviously things
Uh-huh.
are getting dicey. And then also the other two panelists also at the same time, like within like an hour, like of you emailing me, all emailed me as well, being like, "Are we still doing this? I don't think we should do this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, I don't think we're doing this. I don't think this is happening at all."
I mean, at that point, it was still like it
It was
wasn't like
kind
a
of early
total
still.
given
Yeah,
that it would be
Yeah.
canceled. It was still
Yeah.
like maybe like not everything was being canceled yet. So yeah, it's crazy how much has changed in the past couple of weeks, though. It's crazy to
Yeah.
think that was just 2 weeks ago.
yeah. Yeah, like it
I
was yeah, everyone's thinking the same thing. It was still 50-50. I think that same week is when I like left. I'm in Jersey right now at my parents'
Mhm.
place. Like basically by like that Wednesday, I was like, I need to get out of here. And then like on Thursday morning, I like made my great escape. And
Yeah.
yeah, now we're all in our weird spaces. Wherever hideout we could find, we're there now.
how is the new remote life been for the company that you work at? Like, how have you all been handling the transition?
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad to be honest. I mean, so my company is we have like 9 people and 6 are full-time and 3 are contracted hourly employees who typically
Yeah.
work a full-time week, 40 to 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
But a few members of our team are actually based in Boston. So
Cool.
they typically work out of like a WeWork in Boston, and then a handful of us are in New York. And then we have a contractor in South America, and another contractor in San Francisco. So we're super accustomed to being remote. It's kind of like how our teams operated. So all of our meetings always take place over Zoom, Google Hangouts. So it hasn't been too much of a transition, having to adjust to remote work. I wasn't able to grab my monitor before I escaped New York. So I'm kind of struggling without a monitor. I think I'm going to order one online soon. But yeah, no, other than that, it hasn't been too much of a change, in terms of like our communication, pretty much the same.
Yeah. What do you miss from the old life?
From the old life, I guess just like I'm separated from my sister, so I normally live with my sister in New York, so that's been really tough. But yeah, I just miss kind of like being able to go about my life and just normal routine. It's like it's crazy how quickly you can get adjusted to like a new routine. Like now I'm like very used to doing my whole routine here every day, and it's kind of like you're kind of like forgetting what normal life is like back in New York.
Yeah, I do think you get adjusted very, very quickly. Like, I think I actually forgot now how long we've been doing this, but it is very, very weird. And I wonder if there's like two waves. There's like the honeymoon kind of phase where you're kind of adjusted to it, and then there's like a second wave that kind of hits a little bit later.
Yeah, that's so funny. I was actually talking to my boyfriend about that the other day. I was like, I use those exact words. I was like, I feel like I'm in the honeymoon phase right now where like, things aren't so bad, and like I'm adjusting to this, and in a couple of weeks I'm gonna be like, oh my God, like the panic hits. But so far so good.
But the nice thing though is that you're in, at least with the house, you're still interacting with everyone else. It's just that you all are all kind of isolating together, right? Effectively, right? Like a big family or whatnot. So there's still lots of contact, which is nice.
Yeah.
And you have outdoor space, which is nice too. So that's super clutch. Yeah.
What are you even spending the like extra time on now that you don't have to commute? Like your home is your work, and like you can like just everyone's there. Like what do you spend the extra time on?
So, I mean, I'm used to like, usually on my commute, I'll read on the subway, or sometimes I used to take the ferry to work. So I now, instead of like getting on the subway and reading, I just like drink my coffee in a little chair by the window, read for 30 minutes to an hour.
You're describing such like a beautiful like oasis of like, you know, you carved out your own society. You got a little bit of civilization here.
Yeah. But other than that, you know, like reading a lot, working out a lot. You know, I'm sure it's the same as everybody. Like everybody is reading, baking, working out.
Stress eating or cooking, stress working out. Meanwhile, like I'm putting on my latex gloves to go out to LES and like I'm like, all right, it's like I Am Legend style where I go. I'm like, all right, is everyone okay today? I do feel also people are like probably. I think is it also like, do you feel like it's more productive than it was before in terms of like there's less like chatter or noise and it's like simplified, or do you think it's kind of expanded a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I think I've been really productive since I've been here, but I'm also trying to remember to take the time to like not stress myself out and feel like I need to be super hyper productive all the time. Like I think actually I saw something online the other day that like kind of resonated with me, that somebody had posted that their therapist had actually told them during this. And it was like, stop putting something along the lines of stop putting so much pressure on yourself to be incredibly productive and make the most out of like a global pandemic. Like I think there's been a lot of content out there that has been like encouraging people to take this time as an opportunity and be super productive and throw yourself into your work, and like put energy into self-improvement and stuff like that. But for some people, I think that's great, but because that's how they cope with uncertainty in times like this. But I think for others, that's not true. And if you fall into that group where that's not true, then it's okay to, you know, not throw yourself into your work, and it's okay to feel a little bit scattered or unfocused sometimes. So I've been trying to remind myself of that and not put like undue pressure on myself to be super productive. I mean, we still have like, you know, a product roadmap and deadlines that we want to meet, but, you know, I'm trying not to like seize this as like an opportunity to get a ton of work done and be like overly productive. So it's all about a balance, I think, for me.
Yeah, that's real. I do also think that it's kind of like, I don't think necessarily everyone processes it all at the same time too. So this is something that I'm seeing too, where like I see like the first wave of freakouts, and then like I see the second wave in like my extended family, and then I can see you can kind of map the stages, right? Of everyone
Yeah,
kind of goes through their own version of it. So I'm
totally.
like, all right, so like, oh, the family in Boston is like hitting the first wave of they're freaking out a
Hmm.
little bit, right? And then they're like, shit, should we leave? And I was like, all right, I was there like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, so you have to be like, oh, you have to coach them through it, right?
That's so true. Yeah. I've been seeing that like in the house of people that I'm with, like people are kind of, even in this small house, like people are going through that on different
Yeah,
timelines.
yeah,
And you just have to remember, like, okay, this person's freaking out right now. I shouldn't get like frustrated with them. I
yeah,
need to remember that like I was either there last week or maybe I'll be there next week. And like we're all
yeah,
going through really
yeah,
similar feelings just at different times.
yeah. And things like we learn new stuff kind of every day, and like we're hoping that it all kind of gets better, but it's new information.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super real. Are there like any rituals or any advice or any habits you want to suggest to people to be like, this is something I wasn't doing before, but I'm doing now, and like it brings me a little bit of peace or a little bit of calm, or
Mhm.
it distracts me, or it's like it makes me laugh. Like I was spending a lot more time looking up dumb shit on the internet because
Yeah.
it's becoming a lot more fun to do now.
I mean, yeah, one silver lining of this is like the meme content has been like like everybody's just on their computer and kind of generating content, which has been awesome. But no, something I've been doing, like a small thing, is I normally when I'm at home, I like try to keep a journal consistently, but I'm not very good at it.
Yeah,
But here I've found that it has been helping a ton just for like a few minutes every day, kind of just like check in with myself, write down like how I'm feeling and like what I want to get done today. And I found that it's just like a good way for me to kind of like check in with myself, reset, and get ready for the day, and kind of like get out any feelings that I, haven't expressed aloud to anybody yet.
that's awesome. That's healthy. I feel like this is all forcing us to do habits we should have done before. Is really what
Totally.
I'm thinking.
Read a book, work
Yeah,
out more, eat
yeah,
healthier,
Yeah.
cook more,
express
journal.
your thoughts, be considerate, try to think about how other people are going through. Oh, these are all good.
Oh wait, I should have always been doing that. Yeah.
All stuff we should have been doing. Very cool. How are all the other people in the house doing? Like, where are they at right now?
They're pretty good. I mean, there's been some tough like decisions people have had to make at their companies and stuff. There's been
Yeah,
like some people have had to make like cuts to their company and budgeting more. And yeah, so they've had to make some tough decisions, but they also, most of us work in tech.
yeah,
Uh, and we all are still employed, so we're all grateful for that. We all
yeah,
still have like roadmaps and things we need to be working on. For some of us, like work has slowed down a lot more than others. So there's like a few people in the house that have like a lot more free time than others, and
hmm,
there's a few people whose like work has gotten way busier.
yeah,
So it's interesting, just kind of like us all reacting day by day and kind of just trying to get through it as best we can.
yeah.
But yeah,
Do
for the
you
most part, everybody's been handling it pretty well.
do you find yourself a lot more now on like video calls, like personal video calls, like talking to like friends, family?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like one of the other like silver linings that's kind of come through this. I feel like I'm keeping in touch with my friends and family better than I was before. It's like I've been FaceTiming with people I haven't FaceTimed with in so long, and like my family set up like a group. My dad figured out how to use Zoom, and like sent it. I was like, "Have you guys heard of Zoom before? I just signed up for an account." They sent us the link, and so like I had a big family Zoom meeting the other day, and like we've never done that before. Yeah, I think that it's been great that people have been putting such an emphasis on like keeping in touch with each other. And like I'm feeling for those friends. Like I have a few friends that are like by themselves at their apartments, and so
Yeah,
trying to like reach out to those friends especially more at this time, because I know they really need it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
super real. Yeah,
Yeah, Kirk was mentioning earlier how like it doesn't matter if someone's in the neighborhood next to you, like it's still the same amount of distance because you have to get on the road call anyway. So it's like you might as well just call the friend across the
yeah,
country. It's just as
Yeah,
hard.
totally,
yeah.
exactly.
I was talking to my friend who's in the Philippines, and he's been there for about 2 years, and we're going back and forth. And I was like, yeah, we haven't chatted in like a good minute. And I was like, now all the relationships are kind of all at that same level, right? Where they're all equally far apart, give or
Right,
take, unless you're isolated with them, right?
right.
So it's kind of nice to check in with other people, and like even the people that are with other folks or are strong, like everyone kind of needs some kind of moral support or check in. especially the people who are like helping other folks as well too. But I also had a birthday party last night over Zoom. That Donnie organized, where it's like four and like Donnie like made a PDF of like the birthday, and we like talked through it.
Yeah, I love that.
It was like a legit. And I was like tight. It was like under an hour, and I was like, "This is the best birthday party ever."
That's awesome. It's crazy, sometimes when like friends, like in the past when friends have called me before, I'm just like, "Oh, I'm too busy to answer this." Yeah. But like everybody's just sitting at home doing the thing.
My brother and his wife Christine, they just had a baby girl, and they're kind of at home taking care of this like was born 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I don't know what time's like. But like it's also weird how like since it's such a big kind of global event, everyone still has their own lives, and like people are being born, and like life goes on, and like they're still so kind of consumed by raising a child, and it's like it's definitely a thing they're thinking about, but they're like lucky that they had the kid and they're at home taking care of the kid. So it's like everyone has their own way of kind of processing this event, right? So I was like, this is a great time to have a baby. Like this is like your duty now for the next couple of months. So do that.
Baby all the time. We actually have a friend who's who's 16 weeks along right now. So she just went in for a checkup the other day. So it's like there's a lot of like scary stuff happening, but it's really exciting to have somebody going through like something beautiful like that. So
yeah. I mean, we had a whole crazy. So the week we were supposed to have our event, in addition to that and having to cancel it, Kirk's niece was born that week, so we had to fly to Canada. But then at the same time, I was like, Kirk, they're definitely gonna close the border. Like it's a matter of days.
Stuck in Canada.
So that was just like you got to get back, and I think actually like that's like the end of that week is when they actually started like doing some sort of like restrictions. So
good timing.
I flew the Tuesday, and then I flew back the Thursday, I think, and then the Friday it was shut down.
Wow.
It all happened everything just escalating very quickly, right? So now I am put in this apartment, and we're not going to leave until we can all leave. That's pretty much it. I've rolled my dice. I've cast my bet.
Now.
This is my life now. It's like kind of like we're like now we're definitely roommates. Like before Donnie and I, we obviously live together, but now we're 100% roommates because we spend way more time together.
Yeah, my boyfriend and I are getting a little lesson in what it's like to live together. We do that.
So you guys were not living together before?
No, we were. I mean, we were planning on doing that eventually, but not sped up that
time like the present. I feel like it's also like I'm also becoming more appreciative of like this. Like it's kind of weird. It's like, oh, it's sunny outside. It's gonna be a good day. It's like it's also reduced like my expectations of life. Where I'm like I'm healthy. Like I'm not sick. I still have a job. Like I have literally nothing to complain about. And I'm just like, anything else on top of that is bonus. Like it's like super nice.
Absolutely.
And then 4 weeks ago, I was like, oh, this like thing didn't go the way I wanted it to go. And I was like, all right.
Elaina, I gotta ask, like, how often do you read like the news or like watch TV or things like that? Because I ask that because I feel like for myself, if I like do more than X number of minutes, I'm like subconsciously stressed out. Like it's just
I for the most part during the day, I don't really check it at all. When I wake up in the morning, I read the New York Times. Like they have a good coronavirus update, like thing that I usually read every day, and I read like a few articles. But other than like 30 minutes in the morning, I try not to check again until like maybe a little bit at night. I feel like I get the updates I need each morning, and like any like huge updates, I'll usually hear from somebody else in the house. So I'm not worried about like, missing anything too big. So I've just felt for me, it's helpful for me personally to just do it once a day. And for other people that might be different, and that's totally great. Like some people check it, every hour, like have the news on throughout the day. But I've just found for like my personal productivity and mental state in the mornings for like 30 minutes is good.
Yeah. I've done something where I've like kind of isolated how much news I get. So like before I blocked Twitter and New York Times, Reddit on my computer, so I can't access it at all, which is probably something I should have done before, but now it's like very obvious. And before I used to check like America, Canada, and New York,
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I can only really focus on New York right now. And I've like blocked those out. I was like, once we hit the peak in New York, then I can kind of consume the larger information. Before I was like, what's going on in China? Or like, how's it going? I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't contain all that information in my head. And it's like, what's in New York? How can I help? Where is the pain points? What should I do? I think they even have like a thing where you can text like to a number, and they'll just give you the press release like in text form, which is like
nice.
shelter in place effect. So that's actually been the best thing. And then I effectively spent most of my time because you're right, like everyone just will send, if it's really that important, someone's going to send you the link, right? It's just going to be a wave anyway. So
I've been watching Cuomo's press briefings. It's been good too. So those have been like super straightforward, informative.
I would say I really like Cuomo's. Usually it's kind of like a kind of a douchebag. Like I feel like that's his whole interview, to be blunt. But I actually like it. Like he like starts with like the hard data, then he goes into like the action plan. He ends with like a moral fortitude speech, and I'm like, I'm into this. Like this is what I need right now.
Yeah, so. I'm loving how popular he's gotten lately.
Yeah, like what a true heel turn, eh? Like a true like. Oh, we all like Cuomo now. That's okay. A year ago was not like that, but okay.
I feel like this is kind of solidifying my thesis, which is like you have to be kind of an asshole to run New York. Like it's just like it's one of the states where it's like you gotta have like only leader is the one who can shout loud enough to like keep everyone in bay.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel De Blasio has lost some juice in this. He's definitely receded. Cuomo has taken over on this one.
He really has.
Yeah. Cool. What else are you doing on this Friday? What's the plans for the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, like, what is the weekend anymore?
I live at work is at home.
I don't need to get ready for work because I'm at home.
So yeah, hopefully get outside a little bit. We tried to last weekend we tried to find a hike to do, and we couldn't really find one. But we might just like take a drive in the car. I don't know, get out of the house a little bit. Do it. I think tomorrow I'm going to do our weekly walk around the city and see what's up, see how everyone's doing. Nice.
I have like the better protection now too, of like the gloves. I'm not going to wear the mask because I think that's kind of wasteful if it's like not, if you don't actually have it, but just to make sure everyone's alive and still okay.
I've heard the park's been super crowded in New York.
I'm not going there for sure.
Yeah, not in the park, just like only.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirk, we can't hear you anymore.
Oh yeah, I just lost audio on you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I started using this thing called Allo Moves, which is like a video workout. So now I'm doing it in my apartment. Then I can also hear around noon the person above me do their like first shot. They're like, and it's definitely working. It's like It's
like we have like I said, we have our little like workout studio set up in the living room in this house, and there's like yoga mats everywhere, ankle weights, and everybody kind of has like some of us work out together, but like some of us do it in the morning. Like there's just always somebody in there doing some workout video.
You're rebuilding like society in your little system. You have like the workout place. Eventually there's going to be like house meetings. You're just going to recreate society.
Totally.
So what we had on earlier was like I'll only watch news while stretching in front of the TV.
I like that. So like doing something beneficial for yourself while you're watching.
Cool. Well, appreciate calling in. We won't take you for too long. This was fun.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, stay safe. Hopefully we'll get back to normal soon.
Hopefully. Stay safe, stay healthy.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Yeah.